Hi, this is Saint Jerome coming to you on March the 5th of 2025 with another crypto experience. And I've been messing around with some AI art and turning things to cartoons. Wow, folks, after messing with this technology just a little bit, this is really going to be running the world here pretty soon. And isn't it amazing how it just came on all of a sudden? So I'm a big fan of Salvador Dali. And one of the options Grok had was to paint or take your picture that you suggested and make it surrealistic. For those who don't know what surrealism is, that means the picture is above real. You can see some things that look like you know what they are, but yet the picture itself is like pretty much bizarre. So I said, let's do a surrealistic painting of the cryptos that are going to be that were mentioned in the crypto summit that we had at the White House, the very first one. We had Solana, Cardano, and what was the other one with that? Oh, XRP, and then Donald Trump and another post said, "Oh, wait a minute, don't forget Bitcoin and Ethereum." And I'm going to throw in Litecoin because I think Litecoin is going to be very important. Did you know Litecoin was used in more transactions last year than Bitcoin? And the reason why is it is much faster and the blockchain has never fallen and it costs pennies to send something. Wow, that's a good use of for transactions. So if I offend somebody with this, just remember that I didn't draw this. So I'm not sure exactly what's going on here, but give you an idea what AI art can do. I said, draw those coins. Well, I kind of see a Litecoin and Ethereum and a Ripple and a Bitcoin. I don't know what those other coins are. At, I guess that is a poor young lady got hit by a melting clock. Now, if you're a fan of Salvador Dali, his most famous painting is Persistence of Memory, and look it up. It is a pretty good painting, and he's got this thing about melting clocks and firewood and insects, uh, driftwood, and he likes to make burning giraffes for some reason. So anyway, I digress. Let us go into more AI art and especially of Westwood family. And plus I threw other pictures on in there first. So here's a little AI art. And we're going to use the Westwood family to introduce it. Just to be fair, it's Litecoin Lisa and Westwood family. So they go hand in hand. So we meet about twice a year or so. And this next meeting is, I believe it is June the 20th. I might be off the date. Sorry. I believe it's June the 20th on a Friday for happy hour in the room. And I'm going to look it up right now as we're going live here. June 20th. Yes, June the 20th at the room in Metamora, Illinois. It is a bar with a lot of space, and Litecoin Lisa and Clint Westwood will be set up, ready to do their podcast. So, and then all our familiars will be there too. You'll see some of them, and we invite all new people to come. You can get on online when it's live and make a comment. And Lisa's really good about addressing like, "Hey, there's somebody new," or somebody mentioned something. And anyway, so enjoy the cartoons made by my buddy, your buddy now, the second best AI I hear for the public is Grok 3. So all of these images were made by pictures I had taken with my camera. And then I had to mess around to get them to where I wanted them to be. And sometimes I just kind of gave up and said, that's close enough anyway. So I tried to make them in a cartoon format, but pretty realistic to the original photo. So here to introduce the Westwood pics is and like Lisa is Litecoin Lisa on the left in cartoon form. Yours truly, Saint Jerome in the middle, and Clint Westwood on the right in the Westwood bar and the Westwood man cave. Now that shirt is somewhat like the original. It's Westwood, whatever that says there. So after messing around, this came out pretty good. My mustache disappeared, but it's almost disappeared anyway, I guess. Made me look pretty darn handsome, though, don't you think? And boy, the lovely Lisa and the muscular Clint Westwood. Too bad they didn't give him a muscle shirt. Speaking of the room, this was adapted and made into AI cartoon from an appearance at the room. So This was originally a picture in the corner of the bar, and it's pretty true to life. I'm not sure what AI puts some weird pictures on stuff all the time and go, what the heck? What was it looking at? Or gives you like 8 fingers or something. So this is a pretty good picture of Litecoin Lisa Davis and Clint Westwood. And that captured the essence of the photo. And that's about what that corner looked like. So here they are getting ready for the June 20th meetup in the bar. Podcast is around 4 o'clock. You might want to get there about 3 o'clock. Sometimes it may go run a little later, depending on whether the setup works quickly or whatever. Things happen. Here's another AR rendering of the room. It did a nice job of showing you the space and kind of what it looks like color wise. I noticed the more people it gets, the goofier the people look. It does pretty good with 1 or 2 people, but who the heck is that behind the bar? My goodness, oversized air. I want to tell you that that person looked a lot better than that. And that guy on the next to the stool right in front of her, he's got like, I don't know, this floaty arm kind of thing. Everybody's eyes are huge and lopsided. And who's that girl on top of the table way over there? I don't know what's going on. But look at the TV images too. So the only 2 people I know in the picture for sure, because it's hard to tell when I uploaded, over on the left is Marky of the Litecoin family. And even though it doesn't look much like him, I'm pretty sure that's Charlie G next to her on the right there. And then there are other ones of our friends here, but I can't remember who's who because they look so different now. So we had to drive back to the bar from the room anyway, the bar in an undisclosed location. And of course, I had to drive the Prius limo. So here is Litecoin Lisa and Clint Westwood. They did a commercial for me in front of the Prius limo, and the limo looks a little bit nicer shaped than mine. And I don't know what those QR codes go. I'm afraid to scan that. That's not what was on my car. You might be abducted by aliens if you do that. I don't know. But anyway, here is the picture. So there's Litecoin Lisa on the left, Clint Westwood's in the right. That's pretty much right with his muscle shirt. And yep. And then there's Saintjerome. The only trouble is I'm way taller than everybody else. And I do appreciate the weight loss, though. Thank you, Grok. And I guess you QR code Lisa and I, and you learn some information. Like I said, maybe we were abducted and these are our replacements, like so many politicians nowadays. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. Oh, we just made a quick return to the room because I forgot this picture. What a picture this is. Now, this captures the man in true form, the beard, the toughness, the growl, the American patriot. And who's that guy on the left on the bar? Jeez, that's a weird looking fellow. But it captures J Mac perfectly. Don't you mess with that, man. You better not even try to take his crypto because he'll just tear you apart. Actually, very good guy. He's got some funny stories to tell, and no way I can tell them on YouTube. This is taken from an actual photo. Yours truly, Saintjerome, was dressed as Doge Man from Dogelon, and I came out of the bathroom door over on the left, that you can kind of see the corner of it there. And Grok made this into a cartoon, so looks more like Doge Man that I did. But I had pretty good job that day. I had the Doge mask, I had a Doge shirt on, I had a Doge cape. And when I saw it, it really frightened Lisa. Little did I know she had this thing about people with masks on that is terrifying to her. So um, I had to play around with her eyeballs on this because they were so big. I was like, oh, babe, better not. So anyway, here we are. And this is reminiscent of that. That would be me in the very lifelike mask as a cartoon, and Lisa sipping her beverage of choice, which is probably Tito's and Fresca, I believe. And I think I just gave her a Dogelone coin, or it might have been a Litecoin. I don't remember, but that is reminiscent of that actual occurrence. Boy, I messed around and messed around and messed around to trying to get one of our group pics to look halfway like the people look. And yeah, Mitch came out pretty good, don't you think? Up there in the front, he looks pretty strong. And a handsome man, but the rest of us, geez, I'm the one way on the left over there, kind of heavy with a baseball cap leaning over. And I'm like, I don't hope I don't look like that. The man on the left and right in front of me is Clinton. Yeah, he doesn't look a little bit like that. The guy in the flowered shirt is Mark, and he definitely doesn't look like that. And I tell you what, I'm starting to lose the rest of them. I think the only that must be Paulie that's bald there. Let me get out of the way. That must be Paulie that's bald. Looks like Theron in the back in the middle, and I think it must be Charlie Davis all the way to the right because he has Lisa next to him. Now, I apologize, Lisa. You kind of got a man face going on there. So yeah, this was actually one of the better ones. So that's pretty sad, isn't it? So a pick of the Litecoin family, but it kind of makes you guessing on stuff. Now, I want to remind you, I'm just this guy doing his podcasting from a laptop and sitting on his couch. So I should have put this picture way back. I'm not good at editing. So this was the Doge Man and what it really looked like in real life. And at least it is not scared at this moment. But you can see I did a pretty good job of getting the gist of the picture. But that was me in that Doge Man mask. Now for other pictures of the Westwood bar establishment, Litecoin family headed by Litecoin Lisa and Clint West. Can you say, ah? Oh man, this was a good photo in real life, but I kept trying to take picture after picture after picture. And it seems like the more people are, it more it messes up. So it made everybody not very cool here. This made everybody kind of ugly. But I just want to show you when you mess with AI what you might get. So I'm not going to mention who people are because that's how bad it is. But we are at the Clint Westwood bar. It does kind of have the general look of the original, but yeah, I'll show you how bad it is. That tall guy over on the right, yeah, that's me. I guess to the man to write me, I think is Paulie P. I won't mention the girls because it's not very flattering there. Remember how handsome Mitch was? I think that's Mitch in the middle on this one. There's Clint Westwood down below. I think everybody can probably pick themselves out, but yeah, wow. I'm glad we don't really look like that, guys. This is pretty much in the corner of the room over here. It looks a lot like that at the Westwood establishment. Now, that guy in the middle is Parker. And Jim, I'm afraid that's you. Made you kind of an Asian person, missing fingers holding up a cup. So I'm not sure what's going on there. So I think way in the back in front of the door, and their door is like that there. I think it's Theron, and I don't know who's in front of Theron, and I don't know who is to the right down there. So anyway, that's how AI distorts. Serving behind the bar at the Westwood place is, I think that is supposed to be Charlie to the left there, and that is Clint in the middle. But I don't really recognize them. I just know from the original photo where they were, and I forgot who that long-nosed fellow is down at the end. The only thing wrong with this picture for that is we probably have more liquor bottles in this. What do you think, guys? Just kidding. Now, this is a bit of a cartoon, but this is very realistic, except the person in the back lost his head. Anyway, this is Daddy O and his lovely wife. And I'm glad it made you guys look pretty much true to life there. Well, this doesn't really do us justice, but that is supposed to be me, Saintjerome on the left, Litecoin, like Bitcoin, but only faster. That's pretty close, but it says Bitcoin or something. And Paulie P, boy, I was trying to get his mustache and beard to go. I got the bald head right, but I could not get it to go. And look, so that's the best one. And I tried many, many times till I got something. So sorry, Paulie, but you're pretty handsome in that. So that's not bad. Made me a lot thinner, too. That's cool. Well, I'm going to go on now to some AI cartoons from the Litecoin Summit last July in Nashville, right next to the Bitcoin Summit. It was a conference, they call it, I guess, there. We were exactly the same, except our ticket was $84 and included two buffet breakfasts and a crazy good party, plus a bag full of all sorts of goods, including 1/10 of Litecoin. And theirs cost $550 to get in the door. And if you wanted something better, I don't know, a couple $1,000 if you were a whale and you could do the real cool stuff, 25 grand or better. Yeah, So anyway, the background is a phenomenal in this. That's about what it looked like. And this was pretty close to the original photo. Didn't get my mustache, but it's got my wire rim glasses, got Charlie wire rim glasses. This is Charlie Lee, the inventor of Litecoin. He was so gracious to take a photo with me. Now my shirt is supposed to say ballet, but it says relay or something. So I thought it'd be good to show Charlie first, since these are going to be from the Litecoin Summit last summer. And what's better than one Lee? It is two Lees. Now on the left, we have Bobby C. Lee of Ballet Wallet fame, of which I was an ambassador, still kind of sell them. You know, though, I have raised $5,500 in sales. Thank you very much, everybody, for that. But I've only seen $94 um, of funds. It's because you have to buy certain wallets. It doesn't matter if you sell all sorts of other wallets. But anyway, that's besides the point. Here's Bobby C. Lee over on the left, and this is Saintjerome of cryptocurrencies on the right. And now it says saying Ballet Wallets. It says Salter or something. The ballet folks thought it was kind of neat because I had made my own ballet shirt. It had a Litecoin Summit logo on my front, and then it had ballet on the up there where this is located. And I was the only one that had that shirt, so that was pretty cool. I had a good friend, and let me give a shout out to Hot Frog Designs. They did an awesome job. So let's see what it looks like. We're holding a ballet wallet there. You can't see the one I have. Oh, and I got my ID on that let me go everywhere. That's cool. So anyway, that is at the Litecoin Summit. Hi, sorry about that shot I did just a second ago. Folks. Well, if anybody's making a Saintjerome blooper reel, I gave you a couple shots there. I had to get up. When I accidentally started recording again, and then when I came back, I tried to pick it up again and did it again. So without editing capabilities like I probably should have, but being this guy, just amateurish, I would say at best, I'm not able to edit that out. So make a blooper reel. Here I am with cartoon John Kim. Now, if you know John Kim, sure. Now that says Bitcoin, which actually it said ballet, but at least they're doing something there. And I'm not sure who that girl is on the front of that. Now that's supposed to be a goldback. I actually gave John Kim a real goldback from probably South Dakota. That's one of my favorite ones, of the older ones. And it had 1/1000th of an ounce of gold embedded into it. And now that has recently been up as high as $6.32. When they started out, when I got into them, about $3.50. So that's been a big increase. Now gold just dropped the last couple of days, so I don't know what the new price is, but it's probably around $6 still. You can vault those gold backs too, and you can lease them and get an interest. And the interest you get is, if it's a crazy number for 3.5%. So I would never get there. But if you got a small amount of gold backs you're leasing, which ties them up for 60 days, but you can tell them to take you off the lease, and then in 60 days you get them back. You earn 2% gold backs per year. Now that's something. It's not just 2%. If the gold back increases like it did, because it went up like almost 100% in a year, all those lease ones gain that also. So I think it realistically is about 10%, or 8 to 10% last year. So that's pretty good. So if you're interested in vaulting, I have the code for United Precious Metal Association, and that you can set up an account for free. If you do that, then I get credits for referral, and then you get to be opened up to that. Now you can read all about it on Alpine Gold, but yeah, please sign in my link when you go to if you decide to vault anyway. And if you just want to purchase, you can do that too. That's just as good too. You can purchase, have them sent to you. A lot of different things you can do. You can vault and not lease, but I find it's kind of cool to lease. You probably only want to, not financial advice, but you want to probably lease not all of yours at once. Now, the next person I met at the Litecoin conference who was so gracious to take a selfie was Johnny Litecoin. Johnny is a fountain of information. Now my shirt says Diet Toin or something, and it's the like Fu Nation back there. What the heck? But anyway, that's pretty realistic what the setup was like. Johnny comes on with Lisa, roughly Litecoin Lisa, roughly once a week, and they talk about many different things. He's expert on payment systems, and he encourages people to go to a crypto payment system, and you can convert that into U.S. dollars, fiat dollars, if you need to. And he suggests Litecoin because it is the right coin, to quote Bix Weir. Speaking of Bix Weir, here is a cartoon adaptation of a photo I have. I don't remember, on some website. I got it as my photo, tell where I'm at there, like that. So I went to a Bitcoin bin meetup, probably going on 3 years ago. I don't know. This stuff runs together. 2 to 3 years ago in the summer. It was in St. Louis, and now Ben is kind of headed towards Florida. But on the left, speak of Bix Weir. That is Bix Weir. That was a great conference. It kind of captures the essence of the man. Bix brought his silver dagger, and in the original photo, I got to hold the silver the silver dagger as I was between Bitcoin Ben and Bix Weir, two guys that got me an early start, on the left on metals and on the right into crypto. And the first cryptos you could get when I got in, Coinbase only had two. They had Ethereum and they had Bitcoin. And then they soon split to Bitcoin Cash from the Bitcoin blockchain, which is pretty cool because you got free Bitcoin Cash at the time. Now, so that was kind of nice. You got a kind of a 2-for-1 sale. Now, Bix, as far as cryptos, he pushes Litecoin and Theta. Bitcoin Ben, of course, pushes Bitcoin. He also pushes one called Divi. Divi had a heyday where it went up to 16 cents. Doesn't sound like a lot, but man, that was, if you had a node, you go, whoa, look how much money that is. It was quite a bit of money. Well, I had a node, but I didn't want to sell over the node or lose the node and buy back at a higher rate. But I did get rid of the surplus, which is nice. It kind of let me break even for what I had invested. But now Divi's in the dumpster, and I don't know if it's ever going back up. Ben's pretty optimistic on it, but I don't quite share that optimism. I'm just holding because it isn't worth selling. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, this was at the St. Louis setup. Now here's an earlier photo I took and cartooned of Bitcoin Ben. Looked like it chopped off my head and made Ben and I look pretty big. I am a big guy, but I don't know. I kind of like that skinnier guy I just showed you. Now, this is from the same day. Now, that was not a playing. He's supposed to be holding not a playing card. They kind of made it part of his design and kind of a card. Now, Flower Shirt's about right. He had a Cardinal hat on. Woo, Cardinals. And I gave him a crypto gift card. It had about, I think I had about $10 worth of Satoshis at that time. I gave it to him as a donation. And they're pretty cool, those crypto gift cards from Ballet Wallets, but I don't get any credit if you buy those. But if you buy the real series, I do get credit. This is a pretty good rendering of a photo that Saintjerome on the right side, and another handsome young man on the left side, took with Randy Hipper. Randy Hipper is the former Miss Teen Crypto, and she still uses that somewhat, but she just turned 22, so she's not a teenager anymore. And there is Randy in the middle. Now, she was wearing a cowboy hat that day. Cowgirl, maybe you want to say. And so that's a pretty good cartoon rendition of what's going on. So I sent a copy of this to Randy. Let's see if it makes any place. Now, that shirt is supposed to say the Three Stooges. And what is that? The Urix Italuge and the Burgas, whatever it is. The Litecoin shirt's pretty close. So that's not bad on that. So I'm also going to show you the same photo. AI can render it. You can say, do it surrealistically. Remember those melting clocks? Or you can say, do it like a comic book. So I got a comic book version too. So here is that same photo rendered this time in comic book form. So I keep blocking out Randy. So there's Randy without the cowboy hat. It kept putting that gray cloud there. So I had trouble getting that off. It's got the Litecoin shirt. And yeah, I'm about that handsome a man. And boy, that guy on the left, he looks strong and that. And he's got the inner there, Stooges. You remember the famous Stooge Roar and the famous Stooge Iolua and Baldy over there? Yeah, Curly? Is that a ladies Stooge? Look like the three ladies Stooge? I don't know what that is. So anyway, that was kind of cool, but I could not get where I liked it, but I thought I'd show and share what AI can do. So in comparison, here was the actual photo. You have the handsome guy to your right, All right. Well, anyway, the guy on the right, and you got the handsome man on the left. He has looks like a pretty handsome man, and you have the lovely uh, Randy Hipper in the middle, and sporting that big cowboy hat. She was gracious to take photos. I gave Randy and her sister Emma and the little Miss Teen Crypto, the preteen crypto, I forgot her. I think she's Emma also. I'm not sure about that, but I gave them all some gold backs. So that was pretty neat. She liked them. She gave me a shout out one day on her channel about the gold backs. So this was still at the Litecoin Summit Nashville. And I believe that is the last photo. This was in the Margaritaville Hotel, right? And obviously in the bar area. So she's very gracious. Take a photo. Now I'm going to go on and have some random AI stuff, and then we'll call it a day. I told Grok to make the most exciting photo a story he could do of XRP and Bitcoin and Litecoin and Solana and what else is there? Ethereum, all the ones at the Crypto Summit. And here's what he came up with. What the heck is that? By this picture, I think Litecoin can beat the crap out of Bitcoin. XRP looks a little wimpy, but he's got a buddy that's a little bit more solid. But yeah, I'm not sure what that is, but I thought I'd show you when you give vague instructions, you get weird. Yeah, from an earlier podcast, I grabbed this too. So here's what else AI can do, right? You got Bitcoin going fisticuffs. He's number one, and he's having XRP and Ethereum duke it out. Now, that's been a while back. There's been a lot of movement in crypto since then. One of the strange ones that came out lately was Pi. It was just sitting there in the background. You can mine it off your cell phone. And all of a sudden it came out, and I was like scrambling because I did have a little bit of Pi, and I didn't know how to get it off my wallet. I did not realize you had to do all these steps to do it. And I wasn't paying any attention. So I did get it moved, but it's down to like, it kind of locked up. It's down to, it went to start at $2. It's way down. So it may pull a divvy and go down to like 0.000 pennies. Who knows on that? But so the crypto is changing all the time. I had the AI Grok 3 draw Elon Musk and DJT, Donald J. Trump, Yowzer. And so said, put out those coins from the Bitcoin Summit or the crypto summit they had at the White House. I see Cardano. I see Bitcoin. I see Funny Wing Coin. I see D for something coin. And I don't know what that is. It looks like a flame on a coin. So anyway, I mean, you know who they are by caricature, but that's pretty sad. And as I close out, it's probably a long video. I never know how long I go. I just talk and talk and talk and talk. So anyway, I am having a subscriber contest. It's getting closer all the time. 646, I think I saw today. When I get to 750, I said 1,000, but I'm gonna make it 750 subscribers. I'm gonna give out $50 USD worth of some crypto that myself and a random subscriber will win. Then I'll do another spin of the random subscriber wheel and pick second place for 20 US dollars worth of crypto. And then I'll spin it one more time and I'll do a $10. So I'll give out three prizes, crypto prizes out of that. Now, I did this on AI on a different system. And no, I guess it was Grok. Yeah, I guess it was Grok. And I said, I want to do the Westwood bar. And here I am with Paulie P's Lamborghinis that he gave everybody, toy Lamborghinis. And I said, I wanted dancing cats. So that's supposed to be me. It's got my shirt down pretty good. That's not bad. I do have that. I do have the shirt just like that. I'm a handsome older man just like that. And I do have trained dancing cats. And there's a little dancing kitten in front, I guess. So that's actually one of my favorite AI photos. I've used that a few times, and I'll leave that there at the end. Now, it's not a cartoon, but wow, AI can do some crazy stuff and convince you, especially when they do deep fake. Looks like the person talking and speaking. Got to be real careful about that. So far, we can go back with the technology we have and tell whether it is deep fake or not. But you can imagine the day when we can't do that. So I have a lot of good links down below to save a little bit on cryptos. I got Ballet Wallets as a link, so it's a good wallet. It's offline. Don't lose that wallet. Not financial advice, but if you lose that wallet, you lose your crypto. But it's good to keep. It can't be hacked as long as you're offline, like it is now. When you go to send, you have to get back online, but you should be good, especially if you do it quickly. And but once you expose your private keys on the wallet, the people on the internet don't see it unless you hold it up to the camera, which would be a fatal mistake. But as long as you keep them like a poker card, no one sees your private key and the passphrase down below, you're good to go. Um, and then I would like next, like a flash drive wallet. Talked about this before, like Trezor. Um, Ledger, I believe, corrected the problem they had before, but there were some issues with Trezor and Ledger. The Trezor, I don't think made a mistake, but people faked like they were Trezor, and people bought a fake wallet from not the real website. Got to be sure you're on the right website, folks. Exodus is a good hot wallet. I like that wallet. Somebody I contacted lately, like Uphold. Um, I was on Uphold before, didn't really like it myself. I guess there's probably nothing wrong with that wallet, but I ran a few things that kind of I didn't like about the wallet and the way it was set up. But Coinomi makes a good wallet too. There's a lot of choices you have out there, but I would suggest, not financial advice, but just concern, that you don't keep all your eggs in one basket. And for heaven's sakes, not financial advice, don't leave your coins on an exchange. That exchange goes under, boo, you lost them all. And we've already had a lot of examples of bad actors that way. We had the original Mount Gox, bang. We had what was it? FTX, bang. We had Celsius and Voyager. I did have a little bit on Voyager, and I got maybe 2/3 of what I had back in fiat, which is better than a lot of people did on other platforms. But still, it wasn't what I invested anyway. So you got to watch out when you leave stuff on exchange. So then I got the precious metal links. You can get some gold backs. I got a Defy the Grid is one I have. I get a percent back if you purchase from them. If you want to get gold backs and use your charge card, Defy the Grid does not charge any interest, where mostly everybody else does if you use a charge card. You can also go to Defy the Grid and other places and use crypto to purchase metals. That's kind of a good way to off ramp into fiat. I mean, you can go into precious metals and then take the precious metals and cash them out into fiat. That's really easy to do at a reputable coin dealer or bullion dealer. Well, thanks for watching once again. I will try to get another couple of podcasts out within a week, and I just appreciate all you do for this channel. Shout out to my Westwood family. June the 20th is coming faster, to the Litecoin Lisa family. We can hardly wait. So take care, everybody, and thanks for watching again today, and goodbye. See you soon.